On set, Israel's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Ron Prosor. Thank you for joining me, Ambassador. You've got the mothers right now of these Israeli teenagers calling for an end to this violence. Yet political leaders for both Israel and for Palestine seem to be marching on a path towards war. Is diplomacy still an option here?
Well, first of all, there should be absolutely no moral equivalence here. As you said, and rightly so, this all started with Hamas kidnapping and murdering 3 Israeli teenagers. And afterwards, basically launching rockets indiscriminately against Israeli citizens. It didn't make a difference where they are, what cities. And every government, any government, will do anything it can to stop this terror and violence against innocent Israeli civilians. And Israel is in a dilemma. How do we target the military infrastructure of Hamas and try and not hit civilian population? The Hamas is sending them up on rooftops. Israel is trying to do the most we can. For example, we are calling people in and telling them 30 minutes before that a house or a certain installation is going to be hit. Israel here is doing whatever it can to stop this indiscriminate terror attacks against the civilians.
What is your message to Hamas?
My message to Hamas is very clear. If it's going to be quiet in Israel, it's going to be quiet in Gaza. It's a very clear equation. So in the sense, what we have here today is a situation where Israeli citizens have to rush in 15 seconds into shelters. Look, even Usain Bolt, the #1 sprinter in the world, can do the 100-meter dash in 10 seconds. Just 15 seconds to reach shelter. This cannot continue, and it will not continue.
Right, but it seems like it's almost a tit-for-tat situation, back and forth. How do we stop that so that there is peace?
Well, it's very clear. I said there's no tit-for-tat here. It's very clear that if it's going to be quiet in Israel, it's going to be quiet in Gaza. We conducted negotiations under Prime Minister Netanyahu with the Palestinian Authority. Instead of making peace with us, they went into a unity government with a terrorist organization that doesn't recognize Israel's right to exist, doesn't recognize previous agreements, and basically is for murder and terror. So in the sense, this cannot continue.
What would you like to see from the United States? What would you like to see from President Obama right now?
I think that not just from the United States, the international community, especially in what goes on in terror and violence around the region, has to be very clear in saying, stop this terror. We won't, you have extremists all around the Arab world, ISIS, Hamas, Hezbollah, both backed by Iran and others in the Arab world. This issue has to stop. And if I had a message now, is we have to be firm against terrorism, and that's the only way we'll be able to achieve
Well, it's one thing
peace.
to give this message and to say that, but does the United States, in your view, need to be doing more to help protect Israel against Palestine right now?
I think the most important thing at this stage is to stop the rockets flying into civilian areas in Israel. And I can promise you one thing. The Israeli people, if there's a serious leader on the other side, like Sadat in Egypt, we will reach out to anyone who wants to make peace with us. Sadat in Egypt, King Hussein, late King Hussein in Jordan. But we will do everything that we can to protect our citizens, and we will not allow this to continue.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much. Israel's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Ron Prosor. Coming up next, the president's Texas agenda is getting a lot of criticism. We're going to talk about all of it when we're back in 2.
Discover a pioneering Forex investment platform from the best FX broker of 2013. FX Pro. Trade Forex like a pro.
Introducing the new and improved Bloomberg app for your iPhone and iPad. Financial markets change even when you're away from your desk. Bloomberg gives you a snapshot of what's moving, plus breaking news, video, and sophisticated portfolio management tools. Download the free Bloomberg application and stay ahead wherever you are. Also available on Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Phone.
The markets never stop moving. To be a successful trader, you need to move with them. So we've created a dedicated MT4 service to help you, with a newsroom that gives you up-to-the-minute market news, tight spreads from 0.9 on eurodollar.